In the early days, when I was a little girl, Belhaven was shut up tight in winter. There were no lights. We lived in New York every winter, or we came here in the summer. And I had a lace dress, which I seemed to wear every year for some time to the horse show. It was put away. I was never allowed to wear it at any other time. But I thought I was magnificent.
So reminisced Mrs. Helen Barrett Lynch, the daughter of one of the Belhaven Casino founders, John D. Barrett. In the spring of 1889, Helen's father, along with fellow New Yorkers Edward H. Johnson, Joseph Milbank, and George Ely, entered into a business deal with several local men to establish the Belhaven Casino. Just 5 years earlier, Barrett had been instrumental in forming the Belhaven Land Company, a $46,000 land deal. Local historians agree that a casino, as centerpiece of this new community, had been planned by the developers from the start. A club for swimming, tennis, sailing, music, teas, and dancing. A club for the fun of it, with summer memberships selling for $45. The year was 1892.
This facility was originally part of the subdivision, and it was used to help people, encourage people to buy lots in the wild and crazy idea of commuting.
In the decades following World War I, Greenwich experienced a population boom. The casino's annual horse shows were replaced with tennis competitions, and the Brooklynites who first came to Belhaven for the season began winterizing their cottages. In 1926, the casino was renamed the Beach Club. The old gingerbread bathing pavilion was torn down, and plans for a saltwater pool were set in motion. Club dues increased to $100, and more than a third of the families were not from Belhaven, but came from the back country. The year was 1930. That year brought the arrival of the first tennis pro.
So in the mid-1940s, my mother was a small child, and she said, look, I want to be at Belhaven for the day. My friends are down there, and I'm going to ride my bike all the way from Pexland Road, and there's no gears on my bike. So it was a big deal for this little girl to be going down to Belhaven, because the draw was the fun and the friendships that she forged over the years with the club.
The Second World War created financial strains on the Beach Club. Dues were reduced, and the full moon dances were put on hold until victory was at hand. The decades of the 50s and 60s saw more progress, particularly with tennis, sailing, and on the waterfront. The decision was made to reduce the size of the gentleman's dressing room to make room for the crow's nest. The club survived not one, but 3 hurricanes, and in 1956, an expenditure of $3,400 was authorized to build a collapsible paddle tennis court. The sailing program, with the new Mercury sloop, began winning races like never before, and in the early 60s, the decision was made to change the name to the Belhaven Club, and the president was now known as Commodore. The capacity of the inner basin for small boats was doubled, and ground was broken for an extensive new pool facility.
In 1966, the Higgins family joined the Belhaven Club, and it was not open in the winter, except I think there was a Christmas dance, but that was it. Otherwise, it was only a summer club, and it was called the Beach Club.
In 1967, the swim team was unbeatable, and in 1968, Belhaven became a charter member of the new Fair West Tennis League, and the club started operating as a year-round facility with little insulation or heat, but a pioneering spirit.
Snack bar was alive and well. We were allowed 1 chip book, I think, for the entire summer, and I think it held $5 worth of chits, so you really had to spread out your Snickers bars at that rate.
Over the next 30 years, many improvements happened at the Belhaven Club, including a reconfiguration of the harbor, and the harbor master got his own workshop. In 2002, we underwent a major reconstruction of the clubhouse. And shortly thereafter, we rebuilt our pier and breakwater and added beautiful new railings. However, throughout our history, we have never lost our way as a club for the fun of it.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.